Sports page with the Orlando Sentinel and FM 96.9 The Game's Mike the Bulldog Bianchi
on JRR.
Bulldog Sports is brought to you by Kaufman and Lynn. Don't forget, Jeff Kaufman will be here next hour taking your legal questions. If you get something you want to text over to us, 22526. Bulldog, before we get to the disaster that was in-state college and pro football this weekend, do you want to touch the non-football entities first here this morning?
Yeah, let's roll through them. First of all, my man Joey Logano wins the NASCAR championship. I picked him, fellow bald man, although he wears a toupee. Third NASCAR championship for Logano. He's one of only 10 drivers to ever win 3 or more championships. Kyle Busch is the only other active driver with multiple titles, and Logano wasn't even going to be in the playoffs. Remember when he was eliminated?
That second round, yeah.
Second round, he got reinstated when Alex Bowman failed the post-race inspection. Then he wins the following week in Vegas and gets in the championship and he wins the race.
Yeah, well, I look at our sheet from Friday. We had Pat, had Reddick, I had Blaney, and Dog.
Blaney was second.
Yep. Magic.
You ain't first, your last, Pat.
Oh, I know.
So the Magic, the Franz, he had 23 and 7 assists last night. Magic won their second straight game over the pathetic Washington Wizards, 121-94. The Magic were 0-5 on that road trip, but now they've won 2 straight home games by 27 points each, so hopefully the Magic can keep it going. What about our soccer teams? Orlando City advances in the playoffs over the weekend in a shootout over Charlotte in the final game of that series. They end up winning 4-1 in the shootout. Now they advance. They're going to host Atlanta United, which ousted Inter Miami and Messi and all the money they spent on that team. They're ousted from the playoffs by Atlanta United.
Hey, Bulldog, I mentioned this to Taco at the start of the show. I wanted to ask you, have you ever in memory seen a professional sports league, their organization, openly rooting for one of their teams to be in the finals as much as MLS did? And I get it. I totally get they wanted more eyeballs drawn to the sport for MLS purposes and all that.
And
but
Messi.
I just, sometimes it's almost you make your own bed, man.
And plus, they sort of circumvented all the salary cap rules to get him on Inter Miami. Messi, $20 million in total compensation. Atlanta United's entire payroll is $5 million.
Right.
So, yeah, I was actually glad to see Inter Miami get ousted, and now Orlando City has a chance to advance. The Orlando Pride, they advance as well. Barbara Banda scores 2 goals as the Pride. They rolled over the weekend. That team is going to win the title. I'm predicting that right now.
They could have beat Inter Miami.
I don't know about that.
Well, I don't know either, but they are badasses, I tell you.
But they did beat Chicago 4-1, so they advance as well. The other ugly news up in Gainesville, Gators basketball coach Todd Golden being investigated for a number of sexually charged allegations, stalking, cyber stalking, former and current female UF students up there, but he's still coaching the team. As of tonight, he's going to coach against Grambling State. Personally, I would have put the guy on leave of absence and said, hey, let's get to the bottom of this, and then maybe you can come back and coach. But, man, go read the story. Some ugly allegations there. We ready for football? Did I get it all?
Yeah, I think the football, if you were it's rooted for any of the in-state teams, college, it's up to the Dolphins now to salvage the weekend tonight. Imagine that.
Right. Gators, Knowles, Knights, Canes, they all lose. Bucks lose yesterday. The Jaguars were terrible. I guess the biggest news is Georgia Tech hands Miami its first loss of the season. The Hurricanes, Canes, in my mind, the Canes have to win the ACC championship. They cannot afford to lose another regular season game, not with their schedule. They have no ranked team. They've not beaten a ranked team this season, so they need to win out, in my mind, to get into the college football playoff, even though right now they only have one loss. UCF loses to Arizona State over the weekend. Bad call by Gus Malzahn and that coaching staff right at the end of the first half. They've got the ball at the half-yard line, only 43 seconds left. Arizona State has no timeouts, and they elect to throw the ball out of the end zone. Redshirt freshman Dylan Risk throws a pick six. That sort of flipped the game.
Yeah.
So bad play call by Malzahn. FSU, they get pounded by Notre Dame, and Mike Norvell fired both of his coordinators.
Yeah, saw that yesterday. Let's just go ahead and fire you now. Okay.
The Gators were no match for Texas over the weekend. Third-team quarterback just could not get it done against the best defense in college football, so the Gators get pounded as well. NFL yesterday, I'll tell you what, I give the Bucs, even though they lost their fourth straight game, I give the Bucs a lot of credit. I don't know if you watched that game, but Baker Mayfield fought his ass off.
He did.
At the end of that game. And they end up losing to the 49ers on a last-second field goal by Jake Moody, who'd missed 3 earlier field goals during the game. So the Bucs end up losing that game. And the Jags, my God, fire Doug Peterson, please. It's not going to do any good, but 143 yards of total offense for the Jaguars yesterday.
Oh, God.
12-7, they lose to the Vikings. The Vikings didn't even score a touchdown.
I know.
When they beat the Jaguars.
Oh, God.
And most of the stadium in Jacksonville yesterday, purple-clad Vikings fans.
It's sad.
So it's ugly
really,
up in Jacksonville right now. It really is.
Looked like the Chiefs were going to go down, but no, it was not to be.
No. Did you see that there?
Yeah. I saw the blocked field goal.
Mm-hmm.
It was unbelievable. Blocked field goal, 35 yards out, and it looked like they were going to lose the game. So, yeah. What about your Lions last night? They won in the last second as well.
Off the foot of the kicker, yeah. So,
and they were down pretty damn big.
16 points they were down, so, they come roaring back. Literally, Lions get it roaring.
Wow.
All right, Mike the Bulldog Bianchi, host of Open Mic on AM 740 and FM 96.9 The Game. He takes time out of his show each morning to join us here for the Sports Page each morning, brought to you by Kaufman and Lind.
That is correct. You can watch listen to Attorney Jeff Kaufman's radio show Under Oath every Saturday morning, 7:30 on FM 96.9 The Game. You can catch extended versions on your favorite streaming platform.
Check out the Lynch and Taco Off the Air podcast. New episodes posted every Thursday on the iHeartRadio app. Download it for free at WJRR.com.
From the